Has Frenkie De Jong publicly snubbed Manchester United? He goes on tour with Barcelona. Is that the end of this saga? Should Manchester United pull away? In fact, should we have walked away already is the big question. A lot of United fans are not happy with the direction of this deal. They don't think it represents the club in the right way. And now that there is this quote-unquote public snub, Man United fans are fuming. Now, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on this. Smash that like and that share button. Comments below. Let's do it. This saga has frustrated the living daylights out of so many Manchester United fans. That cannot be denied. That can't be put down. It almost feels like it's going to happen and then it slows down. The level of contradictory reports, especially from Barcelona in the past week and a half, has become nauseating for everybody. And I completely understand the want to not see your club associated with that. I get the idea that him going on pre-season feels like a public snub. And I watched Mark Goldbridge's video on this, and I get his frustration. I get it. I feel a lot of the same feelings. But then it's about looking at this from a different angle, maybe. And I want to present that angle to you today. And my rethink, really, and that's what I'm doing here, is rethinking this situation. Going back through this process. What are the majority of credible journalists saying? And then what does this mean for the long-term future of Man United and Erik ten Hag? That is the big question. It's the forthcoming season versus the grand picture of Erik ten Hag. Should the player go? Should the player stay? We're going to run a poll, actually, that's literally on the screen now. You can see it. Click on that and make sure you vote right now. Should United stay in the deal or walk away? That is the big question. Now, what I wanted to speak to you about is what's being said here. So, James Ducker here from The Telegraph has been quite open in what he stated here, that Man United have increased the guaranteed fee by about 8.4 million and reduced the add-ons. It remains to be seen if Barca will now use that higher upfront fee to help partly cover the cost of the £17 million in deferred wages that are owed to Frenkie De Jong. And that's been the reported stumbling block by so many journalists out there. So many have stated this whole time that it's the wages that are holding this up. Simon Stone here saying any potential deal is being hampered by a contract issue involving De Jong and Barcelona. The problem centers around the wages, of course, being deferred during the pandemic, which are due now to be repaid. De Jong is reluctant to leave given what he feels he is owed. And that is the crux of this in many ways. Does the player want to stay and not join Man United because he wants to 100% stay and play at Barca? We know he said that publicly, but we'll come on to him saying it publicly later. Is it because he really wants to stay and play football? Or is it, I'm not leaving until I get this £17 million that I'm owed? I'm not worried about what I'm going to earn in the future, but I've done the work, I've played the games, and I want my money. That is the big question. Now, in terms of whether or not he wants to play for Manchester United, there's been lots of varying articles over the course of this summer. The Times stating here that he is open to making the move. ESPN have stated that despite, what's going on, the player is open to the transfer. The Guardian here that Frenkie De Jong open to joining Manchester United after the fee is agreed. You've got Sammy McBell, one of the most credible football journalists in the world, that Man United open talks over a move for Frenkie De Jong, who is fully open to joining if Man United and Barca can agree a fee. So this is where it becomes a conflict in debate and argument. Is this the player not wanting to join and snubbing Man United because he doesn't want to play for Man United, or is it about the wages? And we move beyond that point. Have we moved beyond that point to, I don't really care whether it's the player being convinced to play for us or whether he needs to sort his money out first. We just need a new midfield player. And that's where I think this argument has gone. That's why I've brought it around. And I said earlier, whether he's snubbing, does he really want to remain at Barca to play there, or does he want to stay there and get his money? Does he want that £17 million? 17 million pounds is a lot of money. Now, the reason I bring that up is this. There's a very credible report from Jack Tolbert 2 days ago that the player can't ask to leave, can't initiate a move, can't go on strike, can't do anything along those lines without forfeiting these deferred wages. Essentially, the way that they've been contracted and done is they're like a loyalty bonus. You get them if you don't do this long list of things. So if he says, I've had enough, you're treating me like crap, I'm leaving, or I'm not going on tour, does a bit of a Lewandowski and doesn't turn up to training, he will forego that money. So is this public snubbing, or is this a player doing what he has to do professionally to get the £17 million that is owed to him? And again, you may say, but I don't care, Terry. I don't care what the reasons are. I just want us to go out there and buy another player. Ibrahim Sangari is available. Ruben Neves available. Tillemans available. That's what I want, Terry. I don't care about why De Jong isn't leaving. I just want a new midfielder. I want us to improve that area because McFred are not good enough. And I hear your argument. 110%. And I believe there has to be a cut-off point for Man United. There has to be a cut-off point. That's been in my belief. But I said to you at the beginning, I'm rethinking this. I'm rethinking this situation. And what's been running through my mind is what Liez said on the terrace on Hot Takes, which he's returning to the show very soon. He said, and I quote, "We can't cheat the process. And cheating the process now would be a very big mistake." Today's show is sponsored by Private Internet Access. And this is something I use on my personal computers, work computers, and on my devices. Whenever you're using an open network for internet, whether at a cafe, whether you're at the airport, shopping center, wherever that may be, you need to encrypt yourself and ensure that your personal data is being protected at all times. Private internet access is available all around the world. And as I've mentioned, you can use it on your smartphone, your smart TV, laptops, iMacs, whatever it is that you use. This also gives you the availability to access content worldwide. So when you're traveling, it doesn't matter if you want to use your Netflix, the iPlayer, YouTube, wherever you are in the world, the VPN via private internet access gives you the ability to do so. Now, what the Football Terrace can do for you is give you an 82% discount on this product, plus 3 months free. All you need to do is click on the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen during this video to sign up now. Cheating the process could be a real problem. And I'll tell you why it could be a real problem. You have to think beyond one season with Man United. I said it in some previous content. Let me just straighten my hat here. I said it in some previous content and I stand by it wholeheartedly. This is my take on this. Man United are not just adding some new players and selling some old players to continue the system, the philosophy, the style that's ingrained in the club. We're not where City, we're not where Liverpool are. We're not where Arsenal are right now. This is a complete rebuild from the bottom to the top. And I keep hearing this, and I've been agreeing with it, and I'm now changing my mind. Being ready for the start of this season is a very fair thing to say. I want my team to be ready to start the season. I want a successful season. And we all want a successful season. But I don't want to be ready in terms of filling all the holes with players if those players are not at the required standard. They are not what the manager wants and needs. I would rather, and I mean this, I would rather wait to January to sign Frenkie De Jong than buy a player that's not as good. I think Ruben Neves is brilliant. I don't think he's as good as Frenkie De Jong. I don't think he's on the same level as Frenkie De Jong. And if the idea is to build a system that requires a player like Frenkie De Jong, and we can't get it done. The only time you walk away from Frenkie De Jong now, in my opinion, and I'm standing by this for a while, unless someone can change my mind, I can't walk away from this feeling. The only way you walk away from Frenkie De Jong is if he says, I'm never going to come and play for you. If he says, look, I'll come in January. If they pay me my money, they agree to give me what they owe me. When I leave, I'm coming. Then we wait. The only time you move on to another target, and I've been thinking long and hard about this, is if the deal will never happen. Or could take 3 years to happen when his contract, 4 years. Then you move on to other targets. Because you have to think about the long-term progression of this team. Manchester United need to ensure that we are not buying the wrong players. We need to make sure that we are buying what this manager needs. And if that means being patient and waiting 6 months, waiting 12 months to get the right people, I want my club to do it. I want my club to do it. Now, if you're looking at additional midfielders and you're thinking, oh, there's Zakaria or we've got Ruben Neves, they're in and around the same, different style, but in and around the same level of player. It doesn't really matter. But if you are targeting some world-class players and they're attainable, I think you stay the course. I think you go the full hog. I think you see the thing through. Yes, we might not have him for the opening 2-3 games of the season. But if you have him for the whole season, Ruben Neves for 38 games will not help Manchester United as much in terms of points as De Jong for 34 games. 34 games of De Jong will help yield us more points than 38 games with Ruben Neves. And I rate Ruben Neves. Man United fans have got to stop, in my opinion, thinking short term. Next season in itself, forget rivals. Oh, what are you guys going to do? As long as the football improves, as long as the football is better and we're moving in the right direction, I can wait. I can wait to fill the holes with the right players, of the right standard. Because if Man United, by the way, honestly thought that Ruben Neves could deliver to us what De Jong could, we wouldn't even go for De Jong. Why would you spend in its entirety double the money on a Frenkie De Jong if Neves can do the same job? You wouldn't do it. Nobody would. If I can spend £30 million on a player and his output and his deliverance is going to be is the same as a guy that's 80 million, unless the guy with 80 million comes with huge commercial upside, I don't think Frenkie De Jong does, to be fair. What's the point? There is none. That's been my change of thought here. We haven't been publicly snubbed. The player has to go on this tour if the club's asking him to. He has absolutely no one should be putting pressure on him to walk away from £70 million that he has earned. He has earned that money. Man United have done their business. They've got their bid accepted. According to all these credible sources, and there's so many of them, that over the course of this summer have continually said that the player is fully open to joining, happy to join, agreed personal terms. This isn't new. The stumbling block is these deferred wages. I, for one, am happy for the club to wait. I, for one, am happy for the club to continue in this vein. But I appreciate not everybody agrees with it. Now, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on this. Make sure you smash that like button, my people. Make sure you subscribe to the Football Terrace. Take care. Goodbye. God bless.